Everyone loves rooting for the underdog, the rags to riches story. Hundreds of books, films, stories based on different concepts of oneself. Generational Poverty Explained by Bootstraps and Success on how to actually succeed in America. So, if it's easy and far from the exception to be done, how can you actually wish it be possible? Become the exception rather than the rule becomes families like a trapped in mentality, like an impossible cycle. It's kind of a breaking the cycle of poverty. And why is that? Why is it so difficult for us low income or middle income to improve our situation? Well, in today's video, we're going to look at the 9 reasons why the cost of poverty and the top reasons. Let's start with number 9. The cost of living is rising. I mean, the federal minimum wage is $9.87 per hour. I mean, you work 40 hours a week, you will bring home $395 in 2 weeks, $790 in, I mean, is that full-time employment? You're making under $18,000 a year before taxes. Meanwhile, the expense of living has been increasing. So roughly it costs per person $24,000 per year. Literally. So these statistics don't account for any unforeseen costs, and it's nearly difficult to live comfortably without working a second or third or a side hustle or picking up something outside of your normal. But some states they have minimum wage for almost $15, right? I mean, that's great if that's what you're aiming for. However, to lead the change of trying to develop a cost of living that's not developed for you mentally. Wage work, I mean, we think about it, it was $5.25 back in the day, right? So it grew to $9 20 years later. The demand for steady paying jobs, it's outnumbered, the supply. Due to a lack of employment, opportunities have become online. But low income parents turn to self-employment or literally looking at a different way. The labor heart, is different to labor because options now to try to escape poverty, these are classified as working poor families. The middle class, it's not a middle class because at least one member of the household is not making or pulling their weight, but is still living in that house. But number 8, let's go to number 8, building credit. It's nearly impossible to build credit, period. Most people don't even have a credit score. And 16% of Americans don't even have a credit score. So your credit score impacts so much of your life in regards to your finances, your wealth, your impact. But to obtain housing, employment, sometimes they even run your credit report. However, when you're impoverished and don't even have a credit score, you fall behind other obligations. You harm your credit score. You can't buy a vehicle. You start falling back late on your expenses. You can't, everything is a can't situation mentally. But finally, you accumulate enough, and all those minor blemishes on your credit might cause your score to plummet, but make it even more impossible for you to figure out a way to develop a healthy credit score to even think about generating wealth. So actively developing this credit idea that we need this to survive. It's astounding, honestly, with the minor infractions your score can cause by just being late from 30 days. But you can't get reliability of having customer service take care of you. A missing bill here and there, a late payment here and there is gone. It's on us, right? But furthermore, security deposits, secure credit cards, secure lines of credit. Who's secure? Let's just really think about it. Number 7, don't you get stuck in debt? We all are stuck in debt. You have bills you have to pay. But maybe life, it just got too hard. You do too much than you think you're supposed to get done. You didn't expect the medical bill. You didn't expect things to go unexpectedly. But you have not spent money and set it aside as you should. You haven't gotten everything that you need in regards to the common debt traps. Payday loans during tax season right now, getting loan advances, taking these scams that are online, consolidation, emergency credit cards. All of this are disastrous for your financial future. But when you're in a situation, you're worried. It's all easy to make hasty decisions instead of using your mindset to try to get out of those decisions. But be wise when making these decisions. Okay, well, let's talk about vehicles. Okay, vehicles, you got to get from A to B with a vehicle, right? You commute to work, to school, run errands, pick up your kids. But the cost of gas, is it going down for you? Are you receiving any type of benefit? Some of us live in rural areas. I live in downtown Detroit, Michigan. But where there's public transportation, but literally we prefer cars. I know probably in New York City, I know in Toronto is totally different, but convenience of a car in Detroit is what it is. The upkeep of a vehicle is about $8,000 a year. If you have a pretty good, I'm talking about insurance, tires, maintenance, Vehicles are literally frequent. They get poor in condition, right? Right now, 20 degrees. It was 50 degrees 2 days ago. So, I mean, they're going to have wear and tear problems. If you can't afford a car, then you literally have to pick employment. I mean, you have to either walk or get a bus, or you got Uber, you have a cab, but these are all things that come at a cost to you. And having a dead end job, working your 9 to 5 entry level pay, I mean, literally, let's think about this. If you actually agree with everything I'm saying, just go ahead and comment, follow, and like, because seriously, in the generational poverty explained, just to make sure that you understand the steps of how you have to come out to become a billionaire mindset. Number 5, unexpected things happen. Just get over it. You might get sick, COVID, who planned for that? Minor annoyances, things, money is a tool, but how you use that tool and value that tool is what it means. You can replace it because you still have life tomorrow, but a lot of people don't. So you live every moment for your day, but what you might consider like a minor setback, it might be disastrous for someone else, but think about it. It's someone that might be in a worse situation than you. So you might have unexplained expenses, but it might be someone that can't afford food or have lights on. So think about, it's not that bad. Just don't fall behind again, right? So try to get out of your situation, come up with a plan how to pay. Don't stay in the scenario. So the expenses, they're going to come, but instead of surviving with expenses, just know there's a solution to your problem. So something that's broken can be fixed, right? Just like a vehicle, an appliance, anything else, right? So, okay, so let's number 4, I'm going on a roll. You have to monitor your bank account. If you neglect a bill and you don't have any type of money, I mean, you can easily get an overdrawn charge, and you're charging extra. That's extra money out of your pocket. You can literally take things and get yourself out of debt, whereas you're paying bills and expenses that you don't even need to be tied to. So all of these little tiny things add up. No matter how hard you try to stay out of debt, building these little things will keep you. They will. And it's really, honestly, nearly impossible to accumulate savings or emergency funds when you're living check to check, but you don't want to take action in the opportunity. So when you're trying to pay your expenses and you're dealing with life, it's difficult to save money. The mentality of money as a tool has just been programmed differently, but it literally can change by the financial setbacks just thrown in your schedule. So it literally will take you all the way back on, and money just becomes the most important thing in your life. So if you get in multiple financial setbacks, you go deeper in debt and deeper in debt. So let's go to number 3, quality education. I have 2 degrees. I have a master's degree and an engineering degree, but in the same time, I'm in a transformation of something new in the online space. A child's life, I mean, you start at the age of 5 and you go to 18 and 12 years of school of common education, and you think it's right for every child, but there's different mentalities. You have to have the fear, right? The first expectation of not being average. That's how you actually have the devotion of different girls and boys. That's how it goes. So you put everybody in one classroom. In Detroit, it was 30 kids in a class. And we all get the great grades and we get the great scores and we graduate and we get the degrees. But you're a different person in each position that you lie. So for example, did you know that there are 100 million girls right now that are not even thinking about school? There are people that are just, at least at the top 5, there's 5 in each, let me get it right. The 5 school age children out of school, little over a half of children are not even under the age of 6. So in other words, people are thinking about homeschool, no longer are in the formal education. So you have to take advantage of the online space, where poverty and education now is not going to be a choice. It's a generational choice, but now you have an opportunity to understand. So education, it can be free in poor countries. If you have Wi-Fi, right? There's no opportunity but an opportunity now. These basic necessities have changed. And now literally each struggling family has an opportunity as well. So the key thing, right, is to understand, to read, to educate, because your mindset will build you through whatever school or education or situation you come into. So number two, we're almost there, right? Inherited generational poverty. The poverty cycle, it's defined as a series of events. I mean, being in Detroit, seeing one end and another end, it starts and creates and it builds. But your average mindset is literally a choice. However you want to choose to move in direction of your journey, is your own journey. So a financial windfall, I mean, winning the lottery, right? We have MGM and Motor City Casino, Great Town, right down the way. But you might have inheritance, so you might have a millionaire cousin or a millionaire football player in your family. But the intervention of who you are and how you brand and identify who you are and the circumstances that you're in. That's why you're in your 9-to-5 job. That's the passion. That's the direction until you find you. So the condition that you result yourself in, it's generational. It's okay. But the possibility is the generational poverty to come out of those cycles. Frequently, the generations, we literally have just changed the whole picture, but just given it a different name. So we must go back and literally think about the 3 generations that were previous to us. Wasn't the passing of time, like literally having the same type of money, we spend the same money, just elevates and the cost of living goes the same. So potentially the intellectual space, it's all the same in a cultural epic. So you can actually take advantage and be the 1% of the not average, or stay with the 99 where individuals must rely on their 9-to-5 and just feel that okay is enough. But you must rely on the measures that are breaking the cycle of poverty for you, because you have the choice to take the action, because there's no inheritance of you. At this point, if you're healthy and able to actually have a thought process, some type of plan, it could be any plan. If you need help, I'm here. So here's number one. Growing up in all of your journey is unique to you. And it's okay. The significant impact you'll make in regards to wealth, growth, development, it starts with your mindset. You have an opportunity with free education to meet the most basic needs with something you scroll every day with YouTube. So the middle class family can be middle class by choice. Owning a home or property is just literally finding your why, but it does take action to get there. So food, the basics, I mean, just making complaining. I mean, you have a Netflix and chill, and that's fine, but you also take chances, have the opportunity to be safe for you and your legacy. So having the open opportunity while you are able to look at education in a different light, using the online space. And yes, you don't have to figure it out by yourself. The great thing is, did you live life by yourself? Did you not have coaches throughout the time? So disadvantaged terms, and when you can't figure it out, have someone you can trust or relate to get you out of your cycle. So again, when we're speaking of the generational poverty explained, the cycle, the financial security of the unknown, the children and how we actually were grown up, we can use it as a legacy and a stepping stone, or it can be the security that you have to be where you are. So hopefully you had some type of value in this video here today, right? Because we want to make sure the whole thought process for your change starts with the action in you. Because financial causes for stress and worry doesn't get you anywhere, because you can do anything you put your mind to. But the only action that you take is all on you. So you know what I say at the end? Let's go.